Welcome to MMA Fan Guys. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. They have been described as Pittsburgh's MMA power couple, or as I would like to call them, royalty. So welcoming back to the show for the many time is Justin, the General Patton, and Coach Karli Jo Thomas. Welcome back, guys. Well, after that great interview, I have left them speechless. We might be having a little bit of technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me?
Can you see us? I can hear you now.
Yeah, it might be a little tricky with you guys being in the sauna. I'm wondering if that is interfering.
Yeah. Hold on, we can step out real quick.
All right, see if you guys can. We'll see if we can keep this rolling. It turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that my introduction did not stupefy them into silence. It was just the connectivity issue. What a pain. Okay.
We're here.
All right, there you are. Did you hear my beautiful intro? Because I don't know if anybody on the recording wants to see me do this again. But anyhow,
no, we heard it. It was excellent.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Okay.
Beautiful.
So you guys are both on the show to talk about your upcoming fights on the same event for 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 26, going down February 1st at the all-new Sunny Days Arena at the venue. And we have one half of the main event here, and as well as one half of one of the advanced amateur fights. Super pumped by both of you. I introduced Karli Jo as Coach Karli Jo because she is the first ever women's wrestling coach for Burgh University, my alma mater. And as of yesterday, made history on a historic career, an historic season, with the first ever women's home match against two teams and three of Karli Jo's ladies, won by athletes, won by pins. So let's just jump into that for just a second. What was it like to fill up the Rudy Marissi Fieldhouse and really host the first ever women's wrestling event for Burgh University?
It was incredible. Just being able to be a part of that and seeing like the girls go out and wrestle and in front of like their classmates and some teachers. It was just like the best thing in the world. They were all pumped up, fired up the whole time. The energy was great. So super happy with how everything went.
Yes, I know. I'm very excited for you. I was hoping to go until I realized it was a 3 p.m. start and couldn't make that work with my job. But what a wonderful job to you. Congratulations to you and your assistants, as well as obviously all the athletes on your team. Now that we are officially under a month away, how are you guys both feeling? Obviously, I'm taking you away from your weight cutting or at least your sauna time. But how is it feeling camp-wise so far for both of you?
Good. I feel great. Same old, same, doing the same thing we do every time just to get the job done. Once you find something that works, you just stick with it. So same routine, just new name.
And Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. Everything feels good. Everything seems on point. Weight cut's going good. My first time cutting to 115, so that's been a bit of a change up, but I'm excited about it. So,
well, let's stay with you, Coach. You're excited to take on Leilani, the Tsunami Hodgins Pike, who's an undefeated 7-0 fighter. The last time we saw you in the 247 cage, you were taking on an undefeated 5-0 fighter. So obviously, again, taking on really high-level competition. How did this fight come together, and what made you say yes to a 115-pound fight against Leilani?
So it's actually kind of funny. Me and Leilani are actually managed by the same company, LCA Management, and me and her both really wanted to have like another amateur fight before we turned pro. So they were LCA was just having a hard time matching both of us, and it was kind of just like you guys want to fight each other? I mean, they were like, like we won't do this as a pro, but it's kind of just makes sense, I guess, at this point in you guys' career. So I was definitely in for it. I actually kind of followed Leilani for a little while. I knew who she was for a long time. Knew she was a really good fighter, but I knew she fought at 115, and I wasn't really considering 115 at the time, I guess. And then eventually we became managed by the same people, so I was like, that's going to be out of the cards for sure. And then this kind of happened, and we were talking about 115 a lot more recently. So I was like, you know what, this is probably the time to do it. We were like 10 weeks out when I got offered the fight, so I knew I had the time to adjust to the weight cut and figure all that stuff out, and just be ready. So yeah, I'm pumped for it. I know she's a super respectable opponent, so just being able to test myself against somebody that high level is exactly what I want to do as an amateur. So,
well, it's one of the reasons why you're so competitive, and you've shown that you can take out former undefeated, previously undefeated fighters before. It's also a great testament to both you guys willing to put on such a high level, pro caliber fight. I mean, when you get that deep into your amateur career, I got to call Justin, the General Patton's last amateur fight before he went pro. And when you're that deep into your amateur career, like both you guys are, it really makes a huge difference when for the fans. This is such a high level fight for us to get treated, and I think it's the perfect fight to have on an absolutely stacked card at the first ever Sunny Days Arena at the venue fight. Now, switching over to the main event, what are your thoughts on your opponent? How did that fight come together, sir?
I mean, it came together how it always does. Chris tells me I'm fighting someone, we're fighting someone. I don't pick opponents. I never really have. I just let my coaches tell me who I'm fighting, what I need to do, and we get the job done. You know what I mean? I guess he's a black belt from a program that's affiliated with Ethan Goss. So he's probably pretty good at grappling, I would assume. Looks strong. So first round's gonna be tough, and then we'll see how it goes from there. You know what I mean?
Well, it'll be fantastic to see what happens. Any main event where you're in it is a big deal. I did not know this, that your opponent somehow connected into the champ, Ethan the Wolverine Goss. So that's just all the more exciting. We're just going back and forth here. What are your both thoughts on the stylistic matchup, kind of any predictions? You already mentioned, General, that your mindset is, kind of see how the first round goes and then kind of develop from there. So what are your guys' thoughts on the fight and thoughts on outcomes, predictions, or just stylistic matchups?
Good.
I think me and Leilani are gonna have fight of the night. I think it's gonna be an absolute barn burner. I think it's gonna be great. I know, trying to take his shine, but I really think we're gonna have a super competitive fight. I think it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. I think we're both pretty strong grapplers. Sometimes with that, you don't really know how it's gonna shake out. So gonna go in, feel it out, see how it goes, do my thing, and I think it's gonna be a really good one.
Well, I think that is quite wonderful prediction. Your fight will be more entertaining and more fan-pleasing than the General. That's what I heard. That's what you heard. That's what I heard. But no.
That's what I heard, too. It's like a challenge now.
One of the beautiful things, you guys have fought on each other's cards before. You fought on the same card before, and I think that makes sense with both going through the training at the same time, both doing the cut and all the, for you guys to be in a relationship and kind of make all the fight stress work. I think that makes a lot of sense. And obviously, whatever coach said was not aimed at you, but now this is your time to make a case for why your fight will be fight of the night, sir.
I mean, he's an athletic dude. Comes out hard, comes straight forward. He likes to fight. I like to fight. So we'll see. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for it. I'll let the fight do the talking.
You guys both will do that. You both have incredibly entertaining styles and wonderful fan support. And I am never picking a fight of the night winner between the two of you. I will keep that locked away. I will never reveal that because I'm sure February 1st, it's time for people to come out and really see just an incredible, and you're part of history. I mentioned it with Coach Karli Jo being, on the card, but for you, Justin, you fought for 247 so much exclusively as a pro for them. And what does it mean to be kind of trusted and honored with the first main event at this new venue, which for them has been a long time. It's been Ryan's dream for Ryan Middleton, the owner of 247. It's been Ryan's dream for a long time. And it is going to change martial arts in the area. They've already mentioned and announced that they're going to be doing some pro wrestling events, I think with a different company, but that venue is going to be used for a ton of different things. What are your thoughts on being the first ever in history main event at Sunday Days Arena at the venue?
I couldn't think of anyone better to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not tooting my own horn, but I've never had a main event, I don't think, that wasn't stand up, edge of your seat fight. You know what I mean? When I step in the cage, win, lose, draw, you're gonna be entertained. And I'm willing to die. And every time I go in there, we've been over before that you got to kill me. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be violent. It'll be a good time for everyone, all ages.
Right after you said you're willing to die in there and that it's going to be violent, but fun for all ages. Yes.
It's rated PG violence.
There you go. PG violence. Absolutely. You might point things like that. That's about as much as it gets. It's very, very exciting. It is, for people that don't know, MMA fights are very, or at least they should be, maybe not all promotions, but 247 aims to be very family friendly as far as those events goes. And I think the new venue is really going to be quite wonderful. For you, General, you did have that no contest, but this is officially your 11th pro fight, 12th if we count that pro fight, something like that. Not to mention you've probably trained for other fights that never came to fruition as a pro. So what do you think it is about the level of experience, both you and your opponent, Elijah Harris? Elijah Davis is also fighting on this card, but not against you. Elijah Harris is fighting you. What do you think about the high-level matchup of just experienced pro veterans?
I mean, it'll be good. Just to see the actual depth of talent that it's gonna take to get this dude out is gonna be good, And I want to see what tricks he has up his sleeve, because every pro, you know what I mean, with a couple of fights you get a little more tricks, and you know what I mean, he picks them up every fight. So we'll see what he picked up along his journey. I'll show what I got that I grabbed along my journey, and we'll see meet in the middle and see, you know what I mean?
Awesome. And for you, Coach, what has been something you've learned or strengthened as a skill? As a counselor, I do a lot of strength-based counseling where you learn to take a skill that you've learned in one area, in this case, coaching at Waynesburg University, and kind of fold it into another area. So what strength or ability or thing that you've learned from coaching so far this year and even starting last year that has helped you as a fighter and as an athlete and a competitor yourself?
Really is like the attention to like detail with just like everything really. Sometimes I'm a little like, I just like rush too much with some stuff, at least a lot more in the past. So I've been really trying to like slow down a little bit and like just work on all those little details that matter so much and make such a difference, like at the higher level that you go. Like coaching has really, really made me notice that, just, seeing the girls compete, and just, I see the little things that they're missing. And then I'm like, well, I'm telling them they need to pay attention to these little details. So it's things that I'm really starting to implement more into my own training. I think it's really helped me a lot. And just like, I'm really just been trying to work on like being more well-rounded, making everything flow as one, rather than, just having striking and then wrestling and then jiu-jitsu, not individually, but like mixing it all together. So that's been just my biggest focuses recently.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I know there's always something to learn and apply to yourself. Justin mentioned, as all the pro fights you've had, you learn something, you take it with you. For you, getting closer to your pro debut, now as a coach, and really just being able to firm up your MMA skill set even more. It's just fantastic. You guys have both made incredible cases for why your fights will be fight of the night. And maybe Brian Middleton will watch this. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Hunter, and everybody from 247. And maybe if your fights are good enough at that level, you guys can be fight of the night. See what I just did right there? Anyhow, see, that must be the relationship counselor in me.
I think we should. Me and Justin should fight at the end of the night to figure out who's really the fighter of the night.
Well, that is a terrible idea. And
thank you. That's definitely
course,
a terrible
listen,
idea.
Brother, I'm here for you.
I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. I can't wait to see what happens. People need to be getting your tickets from either of the wonderful fighters on your screen right now. No?
Just Justin.
Oh my gosh, not this again. I had just made a nice exit from any type of tension. And here you go again. Anyhow, go support your favorite fighter named Justin the General Patton by buying tickets either directly from him, the Mat Factory, or 247fighting.com. Remember, if you're going to be watching this on pay-per-view, there are tons and tons of scam links out there. Any link you see on Facebook and any comment or any random post is not accurate. The only way to get the pay-per-view is either going online to 247fighting.com, or the best way is to download the 247 Live app through the App Store. Any smart device, including televisions, can use that, and that is a secure way to get your pay-per-view. Be aware of that. I appreciate you guys both very much for coming on. Can't wait to see everyone on the card. 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 26, the first ever event at the Sunny Days Arena at the venue, February 1st. Can't wait to see it in action, and I've been honored to be joined by Justin the General Patton and Coach Karli Jo Thomas. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, bro.
See you later.
Peace.